Hello and welcome back. I'm DMAC and today I thought I'd do a little talk about challenge locks. As you know, if you're a subscriber, I make a lot of challenge locks, make a lot of challenge lock videos and make a lot of how-to videos on modifying pins for your challenge locks. I know a lot of people do it for the LPU, the belt system. I just do it for fun. I enjoy making challenge locks and sending them out in the world to frustrate people and to challenge them, and that's essentially what it is. I mean, if you don't know what a challenge lock is, essentially we just take a stock lock, something like that. We will strip it all apart, make various modifications to it to make it harder to pick, and that can be in the form of hand cutting the key, so it's a really difficult bit in as opposed to something a bit flatter like that. Do a nice engraving on it, give it a nice name, and also obviously a bit sticky, that one. Also make all the pin modifications, just some examples there of some crazy pins, and we put a lot of time into making the lock as not necessarily as hard as it can. Sometimes I try to make locks hard, sometimes I try to make them fun. There are locks I've made that are just I spend hours like making pins and doing modifications, and they end up really easy, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, I like to do it for fun. I like sending them out and to sort of frustrate and challenge the community. But as a challenge lock maker and as a serial challenge lock maker, one of the things that frustrates me is how quickly that challenge locks can go missing. It doesn't stop me making them, but it is really frustrating when you've put a lot of time and effort into making a lock. What you really want as a maker is to just see that lock travel. I like seeing locks. I've had locks pop up in Europe and in America, and I haven't sent them there, but they've just sort of been passed around the community. And generally it works differently in different countries, but in my experience, I'd make a challenge lock, I get sent challenge locks. I've got a Haribo there. I get sent challenge locks, I pick them, and then I just, once I've got a few of them there, I'll just send them on to the next picker, and I'll pay for that postage. And then the next picker gets to enjoy all these locks, not free of charge essentially, but they just sort of, pass them on. So all you're paying for is postage each time, and the locks, keep travelling in the community to sort of, for other people to enjoy. But the frustrating thing is that quite often locks just disappear. I mean, I think it's inevitable over time. Challenge locks have got some very fine pins, and they can quite easily get broken. I think the etiquette is if you've got a challenge lock and it jams or it breaks, then just try and get in contact with the owner, the maker of the challenge lock, which it should be on the key. We've got Haribo there on this one. I mean, you can find people on Facebook, on Reddit, on Discord, Instagram. There's various platforms, and it's quite easy to get hold of someone, or to get hold of someone who would be able to fix it and get it back in circulation again. But I think there's probably some people, a small amount, the lock kind of gets bricked and they just sort of bin it, and that's the end of that. I know that there are collectors out there of challenge locks, and I find that as a maker who wants to, I buy locks, I put the time into them, I send them out to the community just for people to pick, just for fun. So the thought that someone out there is collecting or hoarding challenge locks is very frustrating. I don't think that happens that often. I think what happens to most challenge locks when they drop out of circulation is twofold. Firstly, I imagine that a lot of locks that get sent to people, perhaps they're too difficult to pick and they end up in a naughty bucket somewhere in a pile, and they just kind of end up getting forgotten about. And the other thing that happens is that they get sent to perhaps newer pickers, or even people who've been picking for a while, and perhaps they just, they've got their collection of locks, they've got a few challenge locks with them, as I've got here, and they just kind of fall out of interest with a hobby. And I don't know what happens to those lock collections, and perhaps they just get mothballed, left in lofts and attics around the world. And that's probably what happens. So I think that it's either pickers that get out of the habit, or it's just people that forget that they've got the challenge locks there. So the reason for the video today really was to say, as a maker and as a prolific maker, and someone that it really enjoys seeing those locks go out to challenge people, It was just an appeal to say, if you've got challenge locks in your collection, and you're finished with them, you know, you've picked them, and or perhaps you haven't picked them, and they're just, you know, some locks. There are plenty of locks, usually Harry Bows actually for me, that are above my skill level. But I enjoy picking them, playing with them, seeing what he's done with his pins and that sort of thing. But you know, once you're finished with them, just pass them on. I'm sure there are lots of challenge locks out there right now, all over the world, America, Europe, Australia, that are just sat in the bottom of naughty buckets somewhere, just hoping for a new owner. And if you don't know where to send them on, as I say, there's a lot of platforms, there's a lot of groups on Facebook, there's a lot of groups on Reddit, there's groups on Discord, there's a challenge lock channel on Discord. You can get in touch with a lot of the fellas there, and just post up there, or on Instagram, and just post up, you've got a couple of challenge locks, you want to move them on, and is anyone interested in doing them? And yeah, those challenge locks can hopefully get back into circulation for other people to enjoy. So that's my video for today, and yeah, if you've got challenge locks and you're sitting on them and you're done with them, get them moving, you know, because they're meant for everyone to kind of have a go at, and yeah, have fun with them and be challenged. And as a maker, you know, I really enjoy when my locks pop up on YouTube videos or Facebook posts, and it's just great to see that they're still out there and still being enjoyed. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Stay safe out there, and bye for now.